Okay. Hello, everybody. Doing just a live stream today. Planning on a build stream. It's just a build stream. That's all it is. Y'all said you enjoyed live streams on Fridays, so I'm trying to do one in the middle of the day at some point in time. Anyway, folks, for those of you all wondering, I'm Badger Weld, and we are here today to build something. I've got some ideas out here. I'm trying to remember how I did some stuff with my old builds, and then I'm going to try and translate some of that into some new, more impressive builds. Hopefully, if I can do that. So anyway, happy to see people coming into the stream, checking things out. Hope you guys are having a good time. And without further ado, we're going to get started. So, what are we building? Well, one, I've already got this build system set up. By the way, if you are wanting to keep these things straight, the best way to do it is to have a button on there and a battery, and then just have switch lock engage, so you can like switch lock it and set it all up. But the plan right now is to build a better version of the healer. You guys have seen it. The healer, I think like Mark 4 or Mark 2, I think of what it is. It's worked out pretty good, and I want to build a bigger healer. I want to build one with more cargo space, wider section, so that if I want to, I can do a lot more. Right now we have the Bobcat, which is nuclear powered, and it's designed to just drop in with a supply of uranium and operate for missions and stuff like that. Heavy armor, and we've got, like I said, the healer is a light armor vehicle, so it's designed to have mostly move stuff, mostly move a lot of stuff, and that's what this whole back section here is for and everything. Make it all work good. What I want to do is, I've got this from the Frostbite scenario. I actually took this thing out. I love the twin hydrogen engine method of this, but I don't like the size of this thing. It is god awful big, and what I want is something similar to the healer where I can just load some stuff into it and have some fun. I don't know how long this live stream is going to go, because I've got work today, and I was like, you know, everyone said they wanted something on Friday. That was the overwhelming majority. Sound is low, really. Is it the sound of my voice, or is it, let me check something here. Is it the sound of my voice that's low? Let me try to bring that up a bit more. How's that? Sounds, should be higher now, hopefully. I got the sound here. I don't have the desktop audio up real high. How's that? Let me, hang on a minute. Let me just see something. There we go. That seems to have fixed it. I hope. If it's still a problem, let me know. I'll try to modify it. But what I don't want these giant tires, but I do love this side system right here where you can just have your engine on the sides of it. So I kind of want to do that with a new healer, because the old healer has the engine mounted. Now let me show you here. The old healer has the engine mounted up front, upside down. So what I want to do is I want to mount the new healer. I want to mount all that in, but I want to mount it up at the sides and push it forward. Kind of make it look like a Hemet to an extent. But we're going to have to get around all this stuff first. So first things first, I got to start getting this thing built somehow. Oh, good. The sound is fixed. Wonderful. So first things first, I need to get the cockpit figured out here. Kind of like these. I love these newer. I love these newer cockpits here. Kind of don't want to put that in there. Okay, that ain't gonna fit. That'll fit. You just shove a seat right here. What does that look like? I'm glad that's better. Okay, so we got a seat to drive. We got a driver's seat. We've got a regular seat for someone. Getting into this thing is going to be interesting, so I'm going to try and keep it as low to the ground as possible so people can just hop right in. The main problem with the old Healer was this dual cockpit here, because I have to designate one of them as the main cockpit, and it caused all kinds of problems. So the plan is to double everything up. I want more capacity. Let me check on here. What's the capacity on this? So the original Healer had 5 small hydrogen tanks. I'd like to beef it up to 10 on the Mark II, so that when this thing is brought out there and it does its thing, it'll be pretty good. Now I need to see how many. This is the bottom block. I need one more block down to start putting wheels on it. No, not there. Alright, just like that. Now, I kind of want to make sure the tires are directly underneath. And the main problem with that is, if I'm not careful, let's see, what is that? Is that right? Yeah, that's the right suspension. I believe that's the correct way to put it on there. Drop that right there. There we go. That's going to be right. No, we're not going to put that there, because that's going to put it, let's see. One of the advantages of this big wheel system here is that it's easy to get into, and that's what I want, is just a much bigger variation to where we can easily just hop in. Okay, we'll just put that one right there. Make sure the tread's going the right way. Yeah, we got the aggression going forward. Now for number 3, I'll put this one on the other side as well. So we got that figured out. Okay. That'll work. That'll work. Oh, wait. No, that won't work. Because that doesn't have an effective ride height. I forgot. And I just deleted the seat. Wonderful. Even I make mistakes, folks. Even I make mistakes. Okay, let's pull this around here. I do want to build some kind of small scout vehicle with the new blocks. Let me see. What did I do? Okay, let's do this instead. Let's grab a. Let's see. I think I put it here is where I put it. And this is not a block that bends or anything, so that will be far more efficient than doing it the other way. Alright, there we go. I am not in the mood for weather today. I don't want it to rain. We'll remove that. There we go. Admin powers, thank God. They're wonderful when you need them. Alright, so now, there we go. That's a little bit better. And then I can figure out how to manipulate the front end of this thing so that it works a lot more efficiently than what it's currently working at. I may want to put that underneath, I'm not sure. Because reality, it's actually 3 blocks down. It doesn't look like it is, but it is actually. The tires are actually 3 blocks, or actually 2 blocks down, centered from the bottom of the cockpit on that. And I kind of want to keep that kind of shape. The problem is, if I'm going for like a Hemet look, and I just deleted the dang floor. That was smart. Let me throw another piece in here. Nope, that was the wrong one. Waving at everything. Just, here we go. Just random wave. There we are. I may have to figure out this cockpit or something first. This is the thing about building things, because when you first start, you do not have a clue how things are going to go. You'll start building and you'll be like, okay, I'm going to do it like this. Okay, that'll work there, I suppose. And then if I come over here, I can do number 2. Now, I'm not using 2x2 wheels because, though I do like the 2x2 wheels, the problem with the 2x2s, for those that are wondering, is they're, for a vehicle like this, something that's big and sits up off the ground, and you are going to put weight on it, you really don't want it hitting the ground as much as possible. And the 3x3 wheels push up a bit more than the 2x2 wheels, or almost have the hinge system on the ground. 2x2s are pretty good for like a scout vehicle, I found out, but they're not too good for something like this. I think I can build that there, but let's see about the back wheels here. How did I put those on? There should be like, alright, so there should be a space of like 3 between those, so we're going to do that next. Let's do a 3 space. Let's go to 7. Crash back down here. Take a look, and there's a 1, 2, 3. That's where the next one should go. Because we got that 3 points of space between this here. Oh wow. Check that out. Now, I want to know where the next, what the distance between this area is. Actually, that may be where I want to put the tire. And I may not want that as wide as I've got it here. So the tire's like 3 across. I'll need 1. Because one of the things I like about the Bobcat is I've got the tire mounted here instead of having the tire mounted back here, which was a good idea at the time. I built this one. I built the Healer before I built the Bobcat. So I kind of want this underneath right here. So we need not this double space here. We're going to need 3 in between it, which might eat into my fuel supply because I got 5 on this Healer, but I'm wanting to put like 10 on the new one because 10 hydrogen bottles will be better, hydrogen tanks will be better than just 1 or 5. That'll double the capacity. The Healer already can charge itself back up on just the stuff alone. It can run itself on that automatically, and it's got the battery power to keep going. The idea is to build a truck that is much easier to fill up with the new systems, because this was done before they changed the ejectors into like micro connectors or whatnot. Okay, so let's see. We'll go 1. Actually, we should go 5 from that. So if we're going from here, we need to go 1, 2, 3. Whoop, went too far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe. It'll be right about here, I suppose. That'll be 3 in between, and then I can mount a... And already that's impressively larger. And then the plan is just to work with this stuff here. So, hmm. That's interesting. Because now I've got to figure out how to get this thing... Because I won't need all this in the back here. If I start mounting tires to it, let's see just how big this thing is going to be. And this is the thing, sometimes like designs like this, like for this thing, when you're building something like a Healer or something like this, What I'm going to do is I'm just going to knock out these tires here. Because I can always add those tires back on. No problem. They can be added on at any time. The kicker here is, I wonder, let's see, hydrogen tanks here. Can I mount? I can. That's interesting. So we could easily just mount all these hydrogen tanks up right here. That gives me 2 hydrogen tanks there. And if I'm conservative with this, I could even get... Yes, yes, yes. Look at that. And then I could still mount my extra tire right there. Like, how low did I have it in the other one? Okay, so the Bobcat has the tire mounted up high. We can mount the tire right there. So both the spares are right there, and that still gives me room for connectors and stuff to shove in. That's wild. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so the other problem I'm going to run into right now is putting all this together without everything falling apart. Here we go there. So already I've got double the capacity, because the Healer last time had 5. This has 10 hydrogen tanks already on it, and we've got all this room back here to mount everything. Sup, Lips? How you doing? Also, Brian Hackner is here. I should be talking about who's on the stream at the moment. I've just been neglecting. I haven't streamed in a long time. I'm doing some streaming right now because everybody asked. I was considering it anyway. I wish I had small pipes. I really do. But we'll use these guys here. We'll do that. And a little of this. Nope, nope, nope. Just like that. Yeah, I should have the mirror tool going on, but I'm kind of interested in how this is going to turn out. I can do this here. Okay, so everything is going to work in this capacity. I need a frame. Leps, it's the first time I've popped in a stream. Oh, well, welcome. It's actually not difficult. I mean, well, for you it's not difficult. I'm the one that has to perform here. Okay, so the biggest concern right now, let's go ahead and do this. Let's add some stuff here. Just some reinforcing so that this thing doesn't fall apart as I start putting stuff together. I can shove that on there. Make it look good. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm trying to do live streams a little bit earlier. So I'm not, you know, running stuff. See, where I'm at, it's 255. So I don't know what it is where you're at. Oh, it's 10 there? Like in the morning or in the afternoon? Because I didn't see that. Watching when to put all these details on, then I'm going to have to take them all off. This is just to reinforce this thing, so if I pull something loose, the whole thing just doesn't collapse. Right, then I can start deleting this central area here while I'm holding it all together with like duct tape and super glue at the moment. Evening. Wow. Yeah, it's like 2:56 where I am. And we are just taking the day off right now, or not the day off. We're just kind of relaxing today because the heat here in Missouri is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it is murderous. Like, I'm gonna hit the hay soon. I understand. I didn't realize some of y'all. Like, I knew people from other countries were watching because some people would say "good day, mate" and everything else, but I didn't realize people were that late. That makes me feel bad about doing the whole thing at like 12 o'clock at night when I was doing it back when I did Survival Under Fire. It was like 12 o'clock in the morning. Me and what's his name? Me and Gomer would be up doing stuff like 12 o'clock. And I'd just be sitting there like, hey, we're just going right now. Eventually we'll have to go to sleep, but yeah. So the plan here with this is to build something I can put containers on and run the containers off the batteries, which I got to figure out where I'm going to put the batteries at. Dang, that's going to be difficult to figure out. And then I got to figure out how I'm going to run all this stuff because, well, that's not going to be a difficult thing because powering it, we're going to run um, it's going to have two power plants. Let's see, what's the power plant size on this thing? Or the capacity for it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So already the healer has 2 tanks more than this thing does. Near Amsterdam. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I have a question because I've been wondering this. I hear British people talk about it. Is Amsterdam where is that at exactly? Because I don't know my European geography just sucks. Like I can tell you where countries are at, but I can't tell you where specific cities are. Like people. I'm one of the few people that you can ask, "Where's Ukraine on a map?" I can probably find it, but I couldn't tell you where. I couldn't tell you what cities where. I couldn't show you on Ukraine where like Kiev or anything is at, and that kind of makes me feel bad right now. But yeah, like where is that? Where is Amsterdam at anyway? Like what country? Because I find that kind of stuff cool. Also, if I think about it, also with the healer, I believe the healer. Yeah, I also put an H2 Netherlands. Oh, that's cool. So you're like in Viking territory then. God, I'd like to have your weather right now because man, I bet it is nice and cool where you're at. Right over here, man. You know what? Like the hottest day we had over here where I'm at was like, let me think here. It was like 109 one day, and that was back in June. And we were just like, yeah, I knew Ukraine was part of the Eastern Bloc because of a mission. This is the fun part about video games. Everyone bitches about video games being bad, but then I'm sitting here like, yeah, I didn't know much about Ukraine until I played Siphon Filter, the Omega strain. So I didn't realize where it was. I knew it was like in the Eastern Bloc because, yeah, Vikings float. We are below water. That's all right. That's all right. There are people around here that don't float very well either. Okay, how am I going to hook all this up? This is the fun part. How do I hook all this up without causing all this to fall apart? I guess I better get the top of this thing figured out. Hmm. Actually, this gave me a great idea. I just had a great idea. I just had some genius level thought just came into play. We're gonna do this. We're gonna put a little skiff right here underneath to hold. Nope, that wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want the winter tool. Actually, here I am, accidentally hitting stuff. There we go. And number 6. Let's see if I can. Yes, that works good. Weather's also kind of bad considering I live in a domesticated swamp. Dude, I know what that's like. That's where I am in Missouri. We had a group of people one time say they came up and they were like, and I feel bad for them because I understand what they were doing. And they go, we would like to turn this area of Missouri back into and rebuild the wetland that this place in Missouri used to be. And they're talking to all these guys who originally did it. And these guys are like 80 something years old. Do I not use mirroring? Yeah, I use mirroring, but right now I don't know how this is going to go together because I may end up putting something on the other side, and I may put the engine on one side and not the other. So if you want to put some asymmetricalness to it, and plus I kind of like just putting one piece in at a time so I can make sure I can get it all work. But otherwise, mirroring a lot of times I do use it. Like I use it for this, and I didn't use it for the healer. I think I didn't know about the mirroring before, but the Bobcat I did because it all had to be symmetrical. There wasn't any asymmetricality to it. And the Bobcat works amazingly well. But like they had some guys one time come in from like California and they're like, "Hey, we would like to, fix the swamp area in Missouri and tell all y'all, hey, you know what? Bring back all the wetlands and make it all, like nice and have all this environment." And one guy in the back was this little old man. He said, "That's not going to happen." And they're like, "Why?" He said, "Because y'all ain't got the money to do this because we move more." Because the Mississippi where I'm at is just ridiculous how powerful it is. But the only time I've ever seen it get to a manageable level where people could manage swimming it was last year, and we had like a major drought for like 6 months. And like even Missouri in the United States, if water were oil, we would be Saudi Arabia. We have all the desert states have been coming over now recently after the last drought, and they are demanding now for a canal to run from Missouri's aquifers over to like Nevada and California. They want this big canal, and we're all like, one, a canal like that would not last very long because of the desert environment. It would the heat would take a lot of your water out in the process. Secondly, Missouri's aquifers are not unlimited; they're just very large. We have one of the biggest. We have actually. Oh, it's not that. The Mississippi is one of those rivers that if you can swim across it, you have accomplished something great. That's like going out there killing 100 men. Like you have accomplished something amazing. Very few people have ever accomplished swimming across it from like one side of the river to the next because the current is so strong in there, it will just suck you right under and that's it. You don't go nowhere. Most of the rivers around here are really crazy where I live at. They're just like, nah, you're not going anywhere today, man. We're we have decided you don't get to live. Also, another reason I don't use the mirror tool is sometimes I may put something in like this and I may decide, let's see what it looks like on the other side. And then I've just got to correct one part of it, but I can see how it looks. So like right here, could do that. Could do this also. Don't know if I want to do that or not. But the thing about the Mississippi is it's actually like, it's kind of an, I don't want to say an ocean, but it produces the size of it and the scope of it. If you ever come to the States, you got to look at it. Because you come out there and you see this thing, you can just see the water is just, it doesn't flow like normal rivers. You see a lot of big rivers, even the Nile and everything, the water kind of flows and ripples on down. You can see the movement of the water on the surface and it just kind of goes in one direction. The Mississippi, you'll see spots where the water is churning up like it's bubbling up out of the water, and that's where the current is just going in and moving around in like a circular pattern and then coming back up where it's sucking water down from one area and just pushing it up in another area of the river. And those are completely unpredictable. Like the one guy I know of who actually talked to the guy, and I asked him how he got across it, and he said the easiest thing he could do was lay down flat in the water, keep as much air in his lungs and stomach as possible in his diaphragm, and then he would just kind of mini oar like the oars on a rowboat his arms, and just worked his way to the other side of the river, or to like one of the banks. He fell off a bridge and hit the water. Didn't break nothing, but there was no way he could get across it. And then by the time he got to the other side of the river, he had already gone 12 miles down it. He was in a whole nother state. Like he fell in at around like St. Louis. It took him like 2 days to get to the other side. Nobody knew he had fallen off. So it's like he said I was my only hope. I was like, dang, dude. There's a story. Oh, there's a story to tell the grandkids. Okay, we've got this up here done. I'm trying to figure out where I can put some batteries at, just so this thing will work. And I also need to figure out, like right here, I'm glad I put the reinforcements in, because I could just, okay, we're going to try something here. This is probably going to end, do I have to take that out? I could just leave like one thing in there and then hook up the, let's see where the generators could go. Where's the generator? Well, it's always fun to hear about other places people live. Yeah. It's like another thing that was really big and everyone was flipping out about around here was like the Asian carp situation. Everyone was like, oh, the Asian carp. And we heard about that for months. People were talking about how that's going to hit, and then the entirety of Missouri's fisheries and everything else are going to be destroyed by them because they're such an invasive species. And then they got here to where I'm at, which I'm in the lower part of Missouri. There's an area where I live at. If you ever look at my state, I don't have a picture, but if you look at my state, it's like a square almost. And at the very bottom right of the state, as you're looking at it on a map, there's this little stretch of land that just sticks out like the heel of a boot. And that's kind of the area where I live in. And so all this Asian carp, this invasive species that's supposed to be the bane of America's existence, going to destroy everything, gets down here and runs into the gar. And now the gar have gotten from, which are like, they're like an armor-plated. So, you know how nature goes, okay, we're going to have this animal go this direction. Let me turn that engine off because it is just loud as all get out. You know how that it will, nature says, hey, you know, we're going to have this animal go here, or this animal's going to do this, or this animal's going to do that. The gar is kind of like nature went with the alligator, and the gator goes, okay, yeah, we're going to go up onto land, and we're going to have claws, and we're going to walk around. And the gar was like, F it, I'm going to become an armor-plated fish with a giant mouthful of teeth. And so it's basically an alligator that just has fins. So it can swim much faster than an alligator ever thought about being. And they're streamlined, but they're also armor-plated like a gator. So the Asian carp come in there, and they're beating the crap out of every fish up in the Yankee states. They get down here, and it's like they start attacking the gar, and the gar are like, hey, it's like, what is that? What is that company? I lost it. Uber Eats. Like, it comes to you, or DoorDash. There's like food was coming to them. So the gar have now gone from, I think back when I was younger, we were pulling like 20, 30 pound fish, like gar, 20, 30 pounds out. There was a guy near one of the rivers. He pulled a 160-pound gar out. First time we've ever seen them get over 100 pounds in like 200 years. Because most of the large river gar were completely killed out for, people being safe. Because these things get big enough, they become man-eaters. And then they were like, oh, that's probably just not really a big thing. And then the second one, about like a week later, somebody pulls a 180-pound one out, and then we go, okay, we might have a problem here. So then they start looking into it. They realize, yeah, the Asian carp are having an effect. It's just not the one we wanted. I want to mount these things like this because I think it looks cooler. And it also gives me the ability to tie this. Oh, I put that thing in the exact wrong spot. Well, tag me for not having the mirror tool on. Put that right there. Okay, we're going to turn you off because you are loud as AF. Now, let's see. Okay, we've got room to sit here and run some stuff around and make that all work out. Yeah, free sushi for armor. And the thing is, there's a... Originally, we thought this would be a really bad thing, but then people were... Because, you know, the GAR are getting massive at this point. Like, the biggest GAR that's ever been pulled out of Missouri was like a 250-pound GAR, I think is the record, or up to 300. So, I mean, we're already halfway to... We're already either to the halfway point or already past the halfway point of what is of a giant armored fish. So, I mean, we're going to have super armored fish before it's over with. But what's happening now is they've noticed the aggression in the carp are now going down. At least that's what one conservation agent was telling me last time I was talking to one, and he said, yeah, they are actually getting less aggressive, and they think that's because the gar are killing so many of the aggressive ones out that now the non-aggressive ones are the ones that are surviving, the ones that are actually saying, you know, maybe it's not a good idea to go pick a fight with every single thing that moves in the sea. So, yeah, that's working out good. And then we've got, like I said, you've got the armor-plated GARs and the GARs going around there. And they're not really a big deal. I mean, they can be a problem. I think I'm going to reset these things. I like them where they were. I'm going to have to come up with a different way of doing this. Because this is supposed to be, like, just transport anyway. It's not meant for combat. Well, get both of you and turn you off. Okay. Yeah, Darwinism. Yeah, that's what it is. Darwin Awards for fish. Okay. Now the big question is hooking both these up. And then piping everything into the main system so that it works good. Actually, I know where I need the batteries. Let me see something here. Do I have... I don't have that on there. Okay. Let's see what I can do with this conveyor junction here and see what all I can add to it. This is what I love about the new blocks. I can add some really cool stuff. Such as this. Hey, there's an idea. I can throw that on there. Now the only question is, how do I hook up... Well, no, I've got a way of doing that. I could just add a block there. We can add blocks here. And then all I've got to do is just run a set of blocks from these ends, and then I can add the connectors up top. I just had to finagle something to put on top of this thing so it would pump fuel into the whole system when I turn it on, and then it would fill itself back up on fuel. And then I can fill this whole area with batteries and everything else that I need, like my antenna. I can put the antenna in here, I can put the one thing in here, a couple batteries, and it would all just fit perfectly. That's amazing. That's awesome. 5 people watching right now. Happy to see you guys here today. I know I don't do a whole lot of builds. I don't do a lot of build streams, but hey. Here we are today. So I should have all this connected. Oh, that's a problem. Almost forgot about that. If I pull that, good lord. We'll just do that. Okay. Set that there. Now let's grab this. Put that multi-lock there. And this is a curved connector. Let's see, where's that curve going? Okay. Alright, that's connected up now. What am I gonna... Oh, make it daytime. Oh, yeah, I should do that. What am I gonna put on the back of it? What am I gonna put on the back? Anything, really. I'm gonna have one variation of this. If you've seen the video where I talk about making a magnetic plate, I'm going to make one variation that has just a magnetic plate on the back. and then another variation that's strictly cargo, and another variant that is strictly hauling other stuff. So if I want to get like me and Gomer talked about making a power generator at some point with a large connector and a couple of hydrogen tanks and a battery or two that we could charge up, take it to a base, drop it into the area, click a button, turn it back on, but it would require a big vehicle to run it on. So I mean, this whole back section here could run anything. I could throw a couple cargo, like dedicated cargo containers. Um, I could put a set of skiffs on the back and drive something like one of the healers up there, or a smaller vehicle, just expand it a little bit more to where it would hold it. I mean, sky's the limit. Okay, we've got that hooked up there. Now I just got to hook up. That's the thing I'm trying to figure out here. I'm trying to get all the hookups done. So all this is hooked up here. Let's go 5. And I may do this on either side. Whoop. There we go. Now let's do that on that. And okay, there we go. Yeah, that's what the healer is. The healer is basically just a cargo truck. This is going to be a Mark II variant. It has twice the fuel capacity, which means it'll have much greater range, and there won't be any moving parts on it like some of the stuff I do, like the let's see, what is it? The F302 that I built. The F302 has all kinds of moving parts. I've got to figure out some type of, well, it wouldn't be difficult, but I got to figure out some way to build that would require its own factory to be built, so it would operate good. But then I will be able to add some stuff to the side of this here and on the other side, hopefully make it all work good. Okay, we've got all that hooked up. Where is... That's what I'm thinking here. A couple connectors there. And then just drive up, just build a station where it just drives up and hooks into that, fills itself back up, and then goes. And I need to build the front section of it out there. So yeah, I guess a little bit of programming ain't gonna hurt right now. Let's go in here and figure out which one of these needs... yeah. Okay, so this one doesn't need a wheel. Am I not hitting control here? Okay, hold up, we'll just do this. This will be easier. This is steering. And any of the, well, those need to be... Alright, we add a wheel, disable steering. That's what I'm going to have to do. Add a wheel, disable steering. Don't need to add a wheel. Add a wheel, disable steering. And this should be the last one. So now... Okay, can't get too close to it, but... Alright, so only the front part moves. The back part does not. Brian Hackner, mini base. Technically, yeah, you could probably do that as well. Like, you got plenty of room back here, and I could add some connection ports to where, yeah, I could add a connection port here. I could double that and just add a connector coming off here to just slap down like a survival kit or something like that, would just easily fit there. If you want to do that, just modify it so that it does that. So then you got like this nice little base and whatnot. And then you can add your survival kit there, O2 generator, and then put like a small cargo container, and then everything you need right there in one little vehicle when you want to drop it in. Do a whole bunch of work. Okay, let me see here. Okay, that goes about there. Are those on the same? Yeah, they are. Okay, got that figured out. I may put some type of electronic system, a couple screens right here for the passenger to look at while you're going down the road. Right now, I need to figure out where I'm going to put the batteries at, because that's really necessary. Let's do this. 3 batteries there. And also need number 3. I need the antenna somewhere at some point. There. And a beacon. That'll work. And then number 2, I also want one of these, because I have recently figured out the advantages of having not even playing in a missing build vision lips. Yeah. I rarely use the build vision except for maybe trying to figure out where... Except for trying to probably figure out where my air leaks are inside the vehicles, or inside of my vehicles and everything. Ops small grid. Yeah, it's a small grid, but I mean, you could build a small home away from home out of this thing pretty easily. I mean, you'd probably have to put a... We'll be able to put a bed. That's something Space Engineers needs to throw up. They need to put some type of animated bunk bed you can add on here that's like 2 by 3 that your character can sleep on small grid. That would be awesome. Somebody should make a mod out of that can actually program better than I can, because I have 0 programming capabilities whatsoever. Okay, we're going to add maybe a battery here, and that's going to be the extent of all the battery stuff. And so now this thing will just drive and operate. I could drop it now if I wanted, because I think I've got the chassis figured out. I've just got to do, like, now it's just like extra stuff. Let's do that. Let's just drop this thing here. Alright, let's take this thing for a spin real quick. See how she drives. It's kind of forward heavy, and we are running low on... But she drives good for a vehicle. That's the thing about this small, having the 2 wheels in the front. That really does help with turning. Just having those turn and nothing else. I guess if I really wanted, I could armor plate this thing with some armor panels. And then just start lobbing ammunition. Put a couple turrets on the back of it too. Make a gun truck out of it. There we go. That seems to work. Alright, we are having some power issues here. In general, deco blocks for small grid is kind of wanted. I got this heart on my phone right now as I'm looking at people's comments. And it is just irritating me to no end. Yeah, she seems to drive really good. We got a winner here. Now I just got to figure out how I'm going to do the front of this thing. I'll have to do some decorations to each side. I think I know how I want the back to work, though. Since I don't need all that extra area in the back, I think I'm going to do this for now. And maybe add a camera here somewhere. As for... Actually, I could put a jack back here. That is something I've been adding. Some people try to incorporate the piston into it. I figured out you don't have to incorporate it. You just need the parts. So it's like when... boom, we got the piston right there. As long as you don't activate it, you can just cut that off and then just put it where you want to go. I guess I could shove that underneath somewhere. Or on the side. Someplace. Let me see if I can shove it here. No, it won't work. Had to put it somewhere. They had to work somewhere at some point. We'll delete that out for now, because I don't know if I want to use that there or not. I may put a backup camera underneath and maybe a camera under this side. Okay, so the next thing here... Alright. No, that's not what I want. Why am I waving? Why am I waving? That is just wild. Okay. We're going to do this, because I do want the Hemet look. Okay, we got that going. Now, let's see. That's not working. Number 5. Window here. That works pretty decent, actually. Put something different right there in the middle of it. But how big is this? Okay. And this might be where I end up using the panel blocks here. Let's flip that up there so I'm not... Yeah, that's pretty good looking. That looks generally like a Hemet. I've just got to add some stuff to the sides of it so that it is a little more enclosed. But we're getting the Hemet look right here. May mod some stuff as well while I'm at it. Let's see. Let's see, I think I'll do that. I'm gonna go to bed. Hope you can catch us. Hope I can catch you sometime again if you're streaming in the morning. I think you said. I don't know if I'd stream in the morning. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try and do some morning streaming, if that's possible to do. Like I said, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this streaming so that I can get the maximum number of people on, and we can have just a lot more people doing this. Also, I've got other things that are coming up with the whole streaming. I've got a whole nother thing coming along, an entire series coming up where me, Gomer, Chris, and Bronzy, if I can get Chris on. Chris hasn't been on the first couple episodes we've been doing it. My plan is, normally I would just do this and go, but I'm actually cutting out all the fat, like all the parts where we're not saying anything, so y'all are just getting just us talking. And hopefully, and I'm sorry, I just had an idea here that is affecting my train of thought at the moment. No, we'll take this out. But what will happen is I will turn that on and you guys will get to watch it. But I want to have all the episodes done because I don't want a situation like with Survival Under Fire where something stupid happened and I completely lost everything. So I wasn't able to... We were unable to bring out all the stuff that was going on. Basically, for some of y'all that are new to the channel and don't know, had a situation happen back in Christmas where I downloaded a game and my entire system got like fragmented. So I was just sitting there like, oh no, my entire PC is done. And fortunately that was not what happened, but I did end up having to lose Survival Under Fire. Was one of the things that just got killed in that aspect. It was like one of the casualties that happened, and I was just really bummed out. And by the time me and Gomer were able to get it back up and running, it wasn't even worth it anymore to do it. So yeah, hopefully I'll have that up pretty soon. I'm right now I'm just editing videos at the moment, trying to make it all work. Let's go to 8, get some lights on this thing. That's why I love these lights. You can mount these jokers anywhere. That's looking better. It's the little things in life. It's just the details. The details make everything look better. So I got that going. Got to come up with the paneling for the side of this. But I got to make it in such a way it's easy to get inside of it. So that might be where... Let's see. What can I do here? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Number 3. Let's see how that works. Maybe. Maybe not. Let's try number 4 here. I know one of these will do it. That's probably not it. Yeah, man, good luck, and I'll probably see you Friday. I'll probably be doing another stream Friday. So, I mean, yeah, y'all could probably catch me then. If I do one next Friday, I believe, is when I was planning on doing it. That would probably be the best time. At least that for me is probably going to be the best time. Let me grab this here. We need to put some reinforcing here and make this thing look like it's actually going to hold together when we drive it. There we go. Right there, and we'll add this there. Just to give it a little beefier look. Because can't put anything over the top of these tires. That's the unfortunate. So that's what happened. Yeah, that's why the whole thing just went down. Because by the time me and Gomer got everything built back up, it was like they had changed so much stuff in Space Engineers that we were talking about it. And I said, dude, it would be better if we just redid an entire new series. Which it worked way better than I had hoped it would. The point of that series was mostly figuring out all the little issues that could happen with a Space Engineer stream. Let me try this here. I didn't think about this. And then let's do number 4 here. Because like I said, this thing isn't meant to be a... Of course, what I could also do... Could do that as well. Yeah, so basically what happened with Survival Under Fire was the whole system just... We had a major issue happen. And so what happened was I lost everything on Survival Under Fire, and we couldn't. By the time we got everything back up and running, it was like, it's not going to be worth the time to go back in, redo this whole thing, get it back up and running a second time. So I was like, let's just go ahead and let that end the way it did. And then when we come back to it, we'll work the thing in such a way where we can make a better one. So like a lot of things that we found were messed up. There was a lot of things also we wanted to do differently. Like Gomer came in about part of the way through, and Gomer made the offer at some point and said, hey, how about I hook this up to a server, which would have been awesome if we could have done that from the beginning, but we kept running into issues with the server connection. So it was like we wanted to hook the server up to it and get like a server hookup, but something along the lines of we had already put... Let me grab a different window here. Something happened along the lines where we had already done that because I had already run the thing up. We were having trouble hooking up a server to it for some reason. It was just a weird glitch in the system. And so now we actually have tested a Survival Under Fire server with some of the mods that we had before kind of removed. So we don't have all the really weird stuff happening with it. Let me go ahead and slap a piece of. Well, it's not that. Let's go ahead and slap this here. And then I'll slap. But yeah, that's why if you guys are watching Survival Under Fire, you're not the only one that has asked that question. Like, where has Survival Under Fire gone? And it's like, yeah, unfortunately, we could not complete that with what had happened. I would have loved to, but we could do something awesome with Survival Under Fire, whereas under normal circumstances, we had an opportunity basically. And I said, I'll just take this as an opportunity to do something better. A craftsman that I knew, he always told me, he said, sometimes if you're building something, it's just better to let it go foobar if it messes up. He said, because you'll be sitting there trying to bring it back for years. He said, it'll take years off your life trying to fix something. He said, sometimes it's better to just go foobar and start all over again, which is good advice. That's like one of the hardest things I've had to learn to do as a human being. They're like, okay, it's foobar now. We need, all right, let's see what this looks like from the inside. Oh, yeah, that looks cool. And I believe we've got enough room up here. Yeah, I've got a room to add a couple of view screens on front. So we could add like a couple of screens or whatnot and run some stuff in here. Oh, that'd be awesome. Gotta put some stuff behind this, but other than that. And there we are. Front part of the Hemet Healer style vehicle is done. And it's tall off the ground. I do need to check this real quick. Let's go ahead and drive this thing back here. But yeah, it was hard because when I went back in, I lost a lot of stuff. Some of the builds that I've made on Space Engineers, like the Bobcat, some of the ships I've built, I can't update those because when I reset the system back up, I had to re-download all of my old blueprints. So now for some stupid reason, it will not let me update them. Let's see how this drives up here. Oh yeah, that's amazing. That'll be awesome driving around. That actually is a much better variation of the Healer, and it's got pretty good ground clearance. Oh yes. It's working out beautifully today. Okay, so I think the next part is figuring out how I'm going to put the rest of the stuff on. And then figuring up variations or variants of this based on the build and everything. So I need to, first off, continue this section back, fill this back cockpit area here in such a way that it will look good. I really need some blocks of some type, I swear. Let's see, number 7. I could shove a few of those in there, like that. Probably won't do what I want it to do. Let's just grab this. Yeah, it was, that was one of the things I really got irritated about when that happened. And now I'm very anal about what goes on the PC. And that's also what started, I know people are probably tired of hearing me say this, but that is what actually started the whole need for a subscribe star and everything, because the realization was I have got to have, if that happens again, which is a high probability it will, because I am not the most tech savvy person in the world, as much as I try to be. But if that were to happen again, and it was something more permanent, there is no way I could replace the computer, because that was like a once-in-a-lifetime deal where I just happened to have the money and the stars aligned, and I had a PC at that point. Which also, I know I harp about this, but there is a subscribe star, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all want to help out, throw some stuff on there. yeah, you know, help out the channel a little bit. It can be done. And that's one of the reasons why I did it, because I realized this has got to start. And that's another thing also, is my wife kept asking me and harassing me. She kept going, when is this gonna, are you ever gonna make money at this? And I was like, what do you mean make money at this? I do this for my mental health mostly, because games like this take my mind off my work. I do not like my work because most of the time I do construction. And everyone goes, well, you're building houses. Not in bad economies. So like right now in this economy that we have going on, you're doing either, the only things you're going to be doing in an economy like this are roofing, painting, or drywall. And that's about all you're going to be doing. And I don't like doing any of those. Painting especially is the worst, because if you've ever had to scrape paint off of a wall, oh God, that is a special type of torture right there. Let's do that, but then I also want to grab this bar here and do this. Yeah, that'll work. Also take these out here. And then see if I can do something over here. Maybe one of those newer blocks. Yeah, let's grab the new blocks out here. See what I can do with that. Yeah, that helps out. But yeah, got past all that. That was a hard pill to swallow when that happened, but got past it. And things are working out now. Like the channel's doing good. We're back up and running like we're supposed to be. And my big fear of that happening was, crap, I have spent all this time building this up, building an audience, and now it's going to shut down because I downloaded something I wasn't supposed to, or downloaded something and didn't check it properly. But it didn't go as bad as I thought it was going to. So that's the wonderful part of all of it. Okay. Now the major issue here, let's see what a large tank will look like on this. There we go. Here comes big hydrogen here. There we go. We have a large hydrogen hauler. And all I need is 1 block's worth of extra space. That's it. No, that's not what I need. I need this to come to here. And there. And then that's just one big hydrogen hauler. That can be run. And then I just got to run some stuff up the sides to make it look like it's being held in place, which won't be hard at all. Yeah, that works out pretty good. Let's see what a cargo container will look like. You can probably put a pretty big one on here. Maybe. Alright, we got the small variant. There's the medium. There's the big cargo container. Set that there. And what happened? Why is it doing that? Ah, there we go. Boom. See? Can mount large cargo containers. Now I'll have to figure these out in the back. But why does it keep going to... Why are you doing this, game? Okay, how would I put these cargo containers on? There should be like 3 like so. So probably, it is for some reason, the game is recognizing the large cargo container as the industrial cargo container. And that is just wild. Anyway, put that there. Okay, we've got room. Okay, and then maneuver this around there like so. That actually helps. So then I can just put a ejector on the back here. We can fill this sucker up. And then this Hemet design just drives off, and then I just got to put a like a catch thing on the back of it. It's working out pretty good. Just a couple of the features that would need to be put on this thing, if necessary. But yeah, everyone asks about carpentry. I get those questions all the time, like, oh, you know, you got to make a lot of money at carpentry. Not, yeah, you do, but it's the labor that's intensive. It's not something you want to sit there and spend the rest of your life doing. Put it like that. What's that old guy say? It ain't much, but it's an honest living. Okay, let me see here. That creates a problem. Hmm. But yeah, there we go. Now I can just load this sucker up with whatever I want. I've got that set up there. I just need to add some blocks along the bottom. Maybe just add some type of equipment down there for, you know, emergencies. We'll add the jack here, maybe. Yeah, we'll put the jack there, and then just probably some tool storage. I guess to be something good right there. And then anything we want on the back, we can just add. So now I've got this large chassis frame. One of the things I'm going to do with it right now is add the plate system to the back of it. Like so. So now we got this landing gear plate on the back that when I load stuff on it, I can actually just throw random stuff on here. So if we're using the, what is the one mod that does this? Where you can just throw stuff on it and it will be a, oh, what is it? 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 What is it called? What is it called? It's the one mod where you just throw stuff on the back. You can actually pick things up and move it. So if you wanted to, like, I don't know, it's something that should definitely have been a feature when Space Engineers was made. But this is just like the cargo variant of that. You can just pick up stuff and throw it on there. Kind of like doing the Frostbite scenario where you got the one deal. And that dang weather is giving me a fit. How do I turn off the weather? Like, permanently turn off the weather. That'd be nice. Turn off the weather in its entirety. So we got our jack here. If we run into problems, we can get that up. We've also got a small kit on the side. We got our spare tires just in case we need to, you know, replace like 2 of them or something like that. We can bring out the jack, attach it to something, onto the back end of the vehicle, or even come up here to the front and attach it somewhere on the front, and then just it'll lift up the side of the vehicle like that. So that's not a big issue. I think what I want to do next, let's see if I can make this look better. See if I can add something here. There we are. Now, will this let me? No, it won't. Okay, so I can put this on the other side. We'll add some side panels on this. As it turns out, they will just fit right there. Now, how high do I want to take this? Yeah, we don't have to take it like real high. 2 blocks would be enough, I think. Let me drop down here. Let's see. Yeah, 2 blocks would be enough. We'll just do 2. It's no biggie. No. Stop that. No, stop that too. What is going on? Let's go ahead and put a 1 in the center too, while we're at it, or what is trying to be the center. And then, let's see here. Oh, wait, there it was. There it was. Booyah there. And we'll do that one there. And I think I'll go 3 high, just for the sake of argument. I could probably do morning streams thinking about it. I'm just sitting here, just random thoughts just popping into my head for no reason. But I could probably do mornings right around the time when my kid goes to school, because I'd be up at like 8 anyway. And then it's just coming in here and hopping on in the morning. Wouldn't be that difficult. That there, and that here. There's actually enough room back here to mount a couple heavy, like a heavy machine gun turret or 2, or just like some light heavies, whatever you want to call them, and then run those out the back end. Doing this, do. Let's see what we got to do here. Okay, we got that, and run that there. Run that there. Oh, what happened? Hit the wrong button. That's what I get for having the control button right next to the one deal. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now, I might need some stuff right here, but that's not a big issue. Okay, somehow... Yeah, that ain't gonna happen right there. I guess it's as good as it's gonna get, probably, for the moment. Let me see if I can just mount this. See, I can't mount this here because that creates a problem. Maybe this. And then just... That won't do it. That'll do, though. Check that out. Now it's looking more and more like a truck. There we go. And that's the problem. I don't have anything in the middle that's angled to go up there. Oh, well. That's not going to be doable. So now what I need is a way to get into the back of this thing if possible. Also going to need a camera, which thinking about it, probably won't be difficult to do. I could probably just mount a camera on the bottom. That would work out pretty decently. Now the only thing I got to do is just paint it in IWL colors. Like the Healer and the Bobcat over here. It doesn't have much in fender wells, but yeah, it really doesn't need it. Let's go ahead and take this thing for a spin. With all the upgrades and everything. Okay, having difficulty with power. But that's to be expected. I'm not... Okay, SPRT ore facility was moving up and down on my screen, and I thought I was under attack. I was like, oh boy, I hope the current defenses of this base will hold. Because that's going to be fun when then things decide to start really wailing away at it. Okay, so we got the Hemet, or the Healer Mark II done. At least built. Let's go ahead and turn the engines on. Might hop up there and add some kind of smoke system. Yeah, the hydrogen tanks on the truck bed, that actually comes from, let me show you where that comes from here. That design was actually used by Keen. If you look here very closely, you'll see those hydrogen tanks there on the bottom. This is from the Frostbite scenario. This is one of the big trucks you get in there. And it uses 5 of these to run 2 of these monster vehicle units there. This thing runs on 10, and it's more compact. So we're about to see what happens when the truck... Oh yeah, she runs good. Now all I need is do some field testing. So if you guys will stay with me here for a moment. Ah! Parking brake. Whoa! I don't know if y'all heard that. Sounds like something broke. Do we have a brake? Anything break on this? No. We're good. Okay. Alright. Let me check the strength on this, on the tires. Alright. Strength is at 6. I usually set it to 14. Just to get a little off the ground. And let's go ahead and blueprint this as a small grid right now. We're going to call this I'm going to call it Healer Mark II. And I'm going to hop out of here. And I'm going to load up a different one so that I can go do the Hillcrest. And you guys can, we can take this thing to Hillcrest. do some testing. Because Hillcrest is the best play. If you're doing rovers, I'm telling you right now, Hillcrest is one of the best places to take a rover and just drive around. Because they've got all kinds of places you can take your rover, check it out, see how effective it is, see what its climb rate. And the last time I was here, we were doing some other stuff. So we're going to test this thing out at Hillcrest real quick. You can see Hillcrest has all kinds of just places you can take a vehicle and just run around on it. I've done a review on this already, so I mean, if you guys want to like check this sucker out. Okay, healer. So we got the M3 healer 6x6. This is going to be the M4 healer 8x8. Oh, that was a pretty good drop. I'm not gonna lie, that was a pretty good drop. All right. Here we go. We're doing some testing right now. See how well she does on the climb up. Oh, dang. That's the first time I've got a vehicle that can go that high. Let's do it one more time and hit the parking brake. Oh, yeah, turn off the parking brake. It almost flipped. Okay, that's good. This thing has all kinds of climbing ability now. All right, let's take it on the... Let's take it over here, run it over some stuff. See if there's anything catching, because that right there was what got the healer to go into a different mark, which forced me to do a different type of healer. Because when I did that, the first thing that happened was I had a pipe underneath the healer, and as soon as it did that run, it busted that pipe, and I realized, oh, that is something that's dragging too low that I thought was clear. Just trying to see if anything gets damaged while I drive this thing over all this. And y'all want to get this. This is on the workshop. It's called Hillcrest. And the Hillcrest test facility, it does all these tests and stuff you can put your vehicle through. Now, controlling this thing is a trip, let me tell you. Just go over it kind of slow. See how it handles. It's doing good. I mean, I'm not seeing anything get broke. Let's go ahead and check it right now. Wow, the brakes are loud as all get out. I'm not seeing damage. Even though every time I activate that parking brake, dear God, it's loud. I don't know if it's just my end or something. Okay, let's see if I can get it up incline here. And we'll drive it up over the other side. One good thing about it is that front face clearance. Prevents a lot of things from getting hit. Now I know this thing will not. Let's go ahead and look at the... Wow, that parking brake is loud. I wonder if it's because I got like 4 of these things on. Right, that's steering. That's steering. What about this one? That's not steering. This one's steering. No. Yes. No. No. Yes. Okay, so that one should be this one. That one. And these two. I want to give it just a little bit more. Let's give it 30 degrees of steering angle. Alright, let's see how that works. There we go. That's a lot better maneuverability. That helps a lot. Like I said, just take this thing. Fortunately, I play on console. Um, I don't really think that really matters. Of course, I don't play on console, but I think Hillcrest is just a map that you can download. It's not a mod. So I mean, you could check to see if it's there. If it's in like the map section, you could probably get it. I mean, it's an amazing idea having Hillcrest, and you can just take an idea and just put it on there, and be able to take it here and do this. Of course, you can look at some of this stuff that I'm doing right now, and all this is buildable. You could probably build your own Hillcrest if you wanted to. But I honestly believe that Hillcrest is basically just that. It's probably something you can get in game on console. I mean, most of what matters at the Hillcrest facility is this area right up here. Everything else is just extra. I mean, I've showed this thing off plenty of times. Okay, we're going to try this obstacle thing here. See what our turn rate is with this giant truck. Well, she's not a giant truck, but she's pretty decent. She's decently sized. She's thick enough. We'll put it like that. Let's try going up this thing. It'll probably get up like the first 2 or 3 steps. Oh, wait. Will we get up here? Oh, she can climb this? We can climb this? Even the Bobcat couldn't climb this. Oh. That is a new one. Very loud brakes. Yeah. Boom. Sounds like a gunshot going off in my head. So we had some smoke going on. I'm not seeing damage. Yeah. Healer's just working right now. I'm going to build like a fleet of these. One for cargo, one for... oh, what's the other one going to be? The other one's going to have... come on, Badger, think. Poor dumb brain, work. The other one would be like just fuel and stuff. We'll be able to take this thing and just go places with it. And it being made of light armor just makes it easier. The fact that it doesn't use nuclear power, you can just build several of these and just go to town with it. The extra turn radius on those wheels does give me a few problems. But yeah, mostly what you want in Hillcrest is just that one area up there for all the testing. The other stuff is extra, like you've got a weapons range for stuff like that. I'm just driving around right now seeing how it works on terrain, because all this extra rough terrain here will really determine what it does. Like there's a snow area, there's a deserted area on this. It has all the stuff if you know how to use the one deal to make it all work. Yeah, I need to take this, replace the original blueprint with this. And now we have the healer. Let's see. Healer M3, I think is what this is going to be called. 8x8. Utility truck. This will be something if I do some kind of... Yeah. I'm seeing the advantage of it. I built the first healer kind of like a half-track kind of design. And we just built it. Me and Chris were doing a build on the moon. And that's why we built it. Was because we wanted to build something on the moon that would work. And we got it built. And it had advantages. But then I took it to Hillcrest and I found that pipe. Because like right... I don't have the original one, but there, let me hear the gunshot breaks go off here. Right where these two sections went, there was a pipe that went down and was just even with that axle. And I thought, there's no way that axle's going to get hit. And then it kept getting broke and I couldn't figure out. I knew there were problems. I thought, let's just take it to Hillcrest, see what's going on. And then right after I did that, it was like, hey, I see a major issue going on here. Yeah, the only thing to do now is just program it and paint it. It's about the only thing I'd really have to do right now. But this would be great having a few of these come out the back of a big transport vessel or something. Drop these onto the ground. Have them come out and just start driving. Maybe even add a cannon to one of these, just for giggles. I did put a cannon on the Bobcat, and it was wild, the effect that had on the Bobcat. It just kind of jerk it real good. Yeah, I think later I'm going to have to work this thing over. I've got to add more lights to it, number one. Jeez, those brakes. I need some rear backup lights. I need a camera in the front and a camera in the back. And other than that, a paint job and programming up the driver's seat. This thing is pretty much done. I mean... There's one of the things I also like, they did these 2x2 seats here. Because now you get a place to sit. And I may add some type of control, like a couple of screens or something in front, so the passenger can be monitoring stuff while they're driving. I mean, yeah, that makes things work out so much better. This will be great next time I do a next time we do a survival stream or something. We'll have this thing to drop into the combat zone and it'll work out just perfectly. We'll have one of these things with like a survival kit, sort of like have a survival combat thing we can just hook up to a base or something and make it work. See, I made a few adjustments, which was the one deal. So I'm going to have to re-blueprint this, and then I'm going to have to paint it later. But yeah. Let's see, how long have we been going here? Oh, that's pretty good. But yeah. I could paint this now. But unfortunately, I'm getting text messages. I'm fixing to head back to the job. Because it's cooling off, and I'm probably going to be working until about 8 or 9 tonight. Joy. But anyway, yeah, I'm hoping you guys enjoyed it. It had about 4, 5, almost 6 people watching off and on. So, I mean, thank you guys for getting on, watching, talking to me right now, and asking questions about where I live, the builds, and about the channel and all that. So, I mean, I had fun answering all those questions. And, yeah, I'll probably, when this thing gets painted, I'll have it put up on the workshop, and you guys can get a hold of it and try it out, see what y'all think of it once I get everything else. I may continue it on another build stream maybe next Friday. So if y'all want to hop on and watch. Anyway, Brian Hacker, use mine to haul my fighter. Yeah, you could do that. With the magnetic plates on the back here, you can just drop something on here, like just cargo randomly on it, hit the button, and all the cargo will lock down. But yeah, I'll see you later, man. Like I said, this is just me starting. I'm trying to do some live streaming. I may eventually do this on Kick because, for the simple matter of, Kick seems to be a little more nicer to live streamers, but I've got to get a different streaming service because I wanted to multi-stream on both Kick and then have it also come over here for you guys. And the problem there was the service I'm using is charging me. They said, yes, we'll let you multi-stream for a price. So I gotta go ahead and I gotta go on and be like, okay, I gotta figure some stuff out and get like a new streaming system, which I got Chris to help me with that. Chris is a pretty good guy when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, I'll get that figured out, and this thing will be built. I'll do a review video on it, and we'll have probably 3 variations of this. When y'all see it next time, it'll have a basic cargo variant. We will have a gas hauler, a cargo hauler, dedicated, like with dedicated cargo space. This will be just like general purpose. I might even add some type of hitch into the back of it and take off the side panels and everything just so we can hook up another system. May even take the what is the word? May even take the Northwind weapon systems and put a CWIS gun on it, because the US does that with some of these. They put like a CWIS gun on the back of some of their HEMTTs and they drive it in, and the guys in the cockpit are just basically sitting in there with a automated CWIS is just turning around looking for targets. So anyway, we'll do that. Yeah, I'm liking the whole Kick thing. I like it better than what Twitch. I've looked into it because Twitch did some really bad stuff to their community, and I was like, okay, I don't want to use Twitch because I do have a Twitch channel, but I don't want to use it because of what they did to a lot of their creators. And YouTube has done some stuff with the ad blocker I don't agree with. And I'm just looking at that going, I need to find a place where I can stream and where people can support if they want to. Because the thing about the Subscribe Star, I did the Subscribe Star so that people who want to support can. But one of the things I know is an issue with Subscribe Star is monthly payment. And I know that's probably pretty difficult for everybody. I'm not sitting here saying I've got... I look at it as you guys probably have the same financial ability I've got, which is pretty limited, if I'm being honest. Mine, not y'all's. But I look at it as, you know, financial ability is probably limited. Right now, that's why the whole Subscribe Star is $1, because that's probably the easiest y'all can give. And I haven't also figured out... I got to looking at it, and they suggested like $5, and they said, "Yeah, do $5. That's what we suggest you do." And I got to looking at it, and I thought, well, I mean, $5. What am I giving them for $5? An update every so often about the new videos that I'm putting out. That doesn't seem like it's worth $5. So I'm trying to figure out right now what would be worth $5 for y'all to get on, and I've thrown some ideas around. One of those ideas was maybe do a server if y'all want to do it, and I'll have me and Gomer will just set the server up. Y'all can start paying in, and so that way the money comes in, the server is set up, y'all just pay for a spot basically for like a $5 tier, and then that would also get me money so that, because if you make a profit at something, you can then expand what you're doing. And I'd like to expand the channel and expand what's being given. We have a snowstorm moving in. But the idea is that if I can get that running, and say that, because me and Gomer were talking about it, we're throwing ideas back and forth, and I said, what are we going to do if we've got everyone on the server, and then we have like 10 new people show up, and we've got to suddenly jump up a server? And he said, well, if you charge a little extra and make a profit, he said, we'd have money to cover that if you wanted to do that. So I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. So the idea is maybe the $5 tier, I'm going to call it like the organized militia plan, or the organized militiaman. Because I have a big thing about militias and whatnot. Missouri has had a wonderful history with militias. It's exciting. We'll put it like that. Now I was thinking, we'll do like an organized militia tier, and y'all that want to go on like a survival under fire server where you're like being attacked by zombies, we'll set the whole thing up. You'll be being attacked by zombies. There will be, we're gonna set it up to where there's like installations y'all can go attack. You don't have to like, it's like attacking other players is not the biggest deal. Like sometimes y'all be out there just working and suddenly a bunch of zombies will move in and start attacking. Or you'll have the robot raiders will come out of the sky and start trying to bust y'all up. And y'all can be like, y'all can play that like we've been playing Survival Under Fire. But the idea of that was if it turns out we have like an influx, because the problem also is with time, the way Subscribestar works is they pay out monthly. Yeah, player versus environment. Brian Hackner is exactly right. Like player versus environment, where y'all have like a very hard environment, and then with the AI, we could build. Me and Gomer were talking. I said, we could build like we had like all these great ideas we were brainstorming. I said we could build like giant mobile base bosses or something that just run on like a circuit and they just shoot at y'all as you're trying to come in and take them out. They've got like all kinds of resources, whoever can kill it, and do all kinds of really cool stuff like that. But the problem is you have to buy a server and I have to buy the spots, and the spots aren't expensive, but with the $5 tier, if I can get it to work properly, it may be a little more than five depending on what I can obtain. But if we do that, I can throw that at the system, and then if we're sitting there going like all the spots for the server are filled up and I have an influx of like 10 people and they're like, hey, we'd like to play, I'm like, I don't want to sit there and go, well, okay guys, you're gonna have to wait a month for us to grab another server and get it going. As soon as we can get the money for another server, me and Gomer can just set that new server up like a secondary server so more people can get in, because the channel's going to grow. Obviously you're going to have more people coming in, and then as y'all start coming in, so we'll have the second server already set up, and then it's just like, okay, we just go to the company and go, okay, we're just buying this many spots, and then those guys just immediately jump on. And then other things, I'm trying to come up with other things that I can give that have monetary value. Like I said, that's why the Subscribestar is just $1, because you get on the Subscribestar usually about a day minimum or 2 days. I will be telling y'all what kind of video is going to be coming out, so you don't have to sit there and be, so y'all can have like an early access to it, because that's what they said I could do on there, was give early access. And I was like, well, that's all I can really do right now. I don't know what else I'm going to be able to put out. So that was one of the reasons that the Subscribestar come up. That's why it's $1. If I do $5 or even 10, there will be something major. If I do like 10 or 20, I may do a tier where if you want to, like if you guys got a build and you want to like hop on while I'm doing a build like this, and you got a build and you want to like bring your blueprint in, I can throw that build on. And if you got like a problem or you're trying to figure out a way to design it, I can help you with it on like a $10 tier. That would also be something I'm thinking about. But that is all. Like I said, I'm getting phone calls now. I rambled too long. I'm gonna have to go. Like I said, that was the idea of trying to get the monetary thing going, because I'm like, I would rather provide like some type of value instead of sitting up there and being like, just send me some money, guys. No, there'll be a reason to send money. Y'all be like, hey, this is a really cool idea. I want to be a part of it. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I got to get off before I get more phone calls and my boss like really starts irritating me. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And as always, stay safe, stay